What is up, guys? I am back from another hibernation. Blame Eric and Tony for making me play something for a different channel, which made me kind of put this channel on the back burner. But 1,000 subs. Thank you, guys. Currently I'm at 1,030. And I told you guys, if I were to get 1,000, I'll smoke this cigar, which I got Sean Williams right here. But no, he put Mr. Rick. He put Mr. Rick, I think. Thank you. It's faded, but I'm trying my best to keep it intact. But the longer I hold on to it, most likely it might just fade. And I'd rather have it to the point where it's legible on camera. So I think he just put Mr. Rick and then Sean Williams, or basically his signature. This was amazing. I'm blue, double D, double die, double D. Okay, now I'm back to being kind of colored. I don't know why I went fucking red as hell. But it was an amazing experience. It's a place I used to go to a lot. Cigar lounge by me. I went to this lounge. Sean Williams was on the event. I saw the cigar here. Spoke with him. Very tall dude. There's a picture of me and Sean Williams together. There you go. Merry Christmas. Whenever I say I'm going to support you, I want to support you. Because it's like the time where I met Nick Perdomo. Perdomo cigars may not be in my humidor or something I tend to gravitate towards. But out of respect, when I met Nick Perdomo, I bought a box of his cigars. So I was going to buy a box of Spectres. This is $119 MSRP. Well, $119.99, basically 120 bucks. So I was kind enough to only just buy one. With that being said, I'm just gonna give you the breakdown of the cigar. You already heard the history of how I acquired this, and it was from the man himself, not from a regular shop, and I just bought it. I bought it straight from his hands as he signed it for me. So let's get into the description of the cigar. And this cigar, which I'm about to pop right here. Oh my god, this feels so, this feels like I'm cheating. I didn't expect one little tap for it to come out. That's what she said. Here's how this bad boy looks like. All right, this is with the wrapper. But now it's time for me to do what I have not done in 3 years. It is officially out. Gonna get smoked today. $120. Ay, ay, ay. Look at that. Look at that. Ah. It kind of has like a cologne smell to it. Like very woodsy. For those who may like this particular cologne, it kind of has this very mute, not gone completely. It's a slightly muted, like Fahrenheit. Sweet, woodsy. some type of baking spice. To break down this cigar, one, I already reviewed the MSRP, but let's just go over everything once again. This is a 6.5 by 52 Toro Extra, with the wrapper of this bad boy being a focus. Okay. This is an Ecuadorian Habano. The binder, which is the inside. Ooh, I already see a tunnel. That's not good. The binder of this $120 cigar is Connecticut Broadleaf. And what you see right in here is a combination of Dominican and Nicaraguan for the filler. Specifically, when it comes to the Dominican, it is Piloto Cubano, with the Nicaraguan being from the Jalapa region. So for a little bit of fourth wall breaking before I cut and smoke, let's take a little deep dive of why this is $120. I'm gonna read off what it says on half wheel when it came to the process specifically for this cigar. It states on half wheel, a blend that uses the Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, the company says underwent a 6-month-long secondary fermentation process. Underneath is the Connecticut Broadleaf binder, while the filler uses some specific treated tobacco. This is the first is Dominican Piloto Cubano from the 2014 crop that was aged in tequios, Tercios, tequios, which are bundles of tobacco aged in royal palm leaves. There's also tobacco from Nicaragua's Jalapa region that was harvested in 2017 and aged in Spanish cherry barrels. That is the great detail of what's in this cigar, from the filler right here, from the wrapper you see here, and the outline of the binder. That's all the information. I'm going to celebrate and give this cigar a bar mitzvah by snipping to make sure it is a man. There you go. It has been snipped. Mazel tov. Ooh, very woodsy. I think it's a sweet tipped. Okay. Give me like a sweet, like almost like a flavor cigar. Would be the cherry. Very sweet on the cold draw. Very, very sweet. Woodsy. Fruity. Wow. Almost like a strawberry shortcake. Very pastry bakery like. Wow. All right, it's time to light up something that's one of a kind. Oh no. Oh. Peppery. Sweet. Potent. Wow. Ooh, a lot is like hitting my system. Let's see so far the ash. All right, there's just that exposed tunnel goes away, at least before the first third is done. White pepper, definitely that spice kick. Ooh, very sweet, cedary, almost like bakery, or like, I don't know, because like with almost like yeast. I'm not sure if you guys ever did the process of like activating yeast for other bakery goods. For those who've been in wineries or breweries and experienced stuff with like yeast, my experience with yeast was when I used to do culinary in school and stuff like that. And the whole process of activating the yeast, it gives me like that kind of like taste. The pepper kind of potent. The flavor notes are kind of potent too. Only negative I'm getting from the cigar at the moment is that it's dry, as in it makes your palate dry. There's way more stuff into it. There's this very artificial like sweetness that's in the cigar that I had never had from a cigar. Almost like syrup like. What is it, like honey barbecue? Imagine, I would never try this. I'm not trying to paint a picture for you guys to understand what I'm feeling and what I'm trying to describe, note wise. It's like almost combining like honey hot sauce. There you go, honey hot. That's been something that I know has been very popular lately. Not too long ago, it started to hit the wave of Wawa. I used to be a Wawa worker. It didn't have honey hot. And then out of nowhere, it became like the main thing people ordering when I worked there. And early 2020s. This is kind of giving it the honey hot kind of feeling where it's sweet, but has a spicy kick. That's what the cigar is. And then I'm getting like this little trail ends of maybe earth, nuttiness, cedary. But it's very hidden with that combination of sweetness and that spiciness. That's like the predominant element of the cigar. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm not saying it's a negative. I just hoping that spiciness level kind of reduces so I can actually take in a little bit more information note wise from the cigar. What the heck? I felt like I just... Wow. For a half a second, it tasted like buttered bread. Like you ever went to a bakery and you could tell the bread is just freshly made and it's spongy, it's cloudy, it looks like a cloud, it acts like a cloud. That's so fresh and so soft. We lather that bitch with butter, a little cup of coffee. I'm probably getting a lot of people hungry in this episode, but I just had that taste for half a second. When you have that very like Cuban bread, you have that very fresh, soft Cuban bread. You lather it with butter and you just toast it a little bit. The butter can melt and you just take a bite. That's what I just got from that for that split second. That split second, I would say it lasted for a good maybe 5-10 seconds and then it kind of dwindled away. This cigar is definitely surprising me a lot. With that, I'm going to continue smoking until I get to that first third. Once I get to that first third, I'll continue. I'll do double D double die. I'm pretty sure this is 1/3 into the cigar. The spice tremendously settled down. You still have the remnants of that white pepper, but now it's extremely sweet. You still have this cedar-like taste to it, but it's very pastry-like. The cigar is getting sweeter, like really sweet, as in I could taste that sherry. Still spicy, but it's super sweet. And it feels like I'm smoking a flavored tip cigar. It's like a sweet residue on my lips. It's not a complaint. It's like an experience I have not had ever in a cigar. This is like once in a lifetime. And yes, the tunnels are still kind of there, but it's filled. It's not underfilled, not squishy. Reminds me of like a gingerbread cookie. It has like this nutmeg, cinnamon, baking spice element to it. It's just its own classification. I'm impressed. I'm honestly impressed. Epitome with dessert cigar. That's what this is. I'm already at that halfway mark. I'm not getting anything else. Just things I said: cedar, sweetness, cherry, cinnamon, nutmeg. That sweet tip element, that spice definitely dipped, which is I like. So on that note, I'm gonna go to the last third and let you guys know what I think about the cigar. I'm getting towards the end of that final third. Smoke output, beautiful. Taste, amazing. Just this earthy profile has started to come out, but it's still sweet. I'm like, my eyes a little bit teary because the smoke is intense. Like towards the end, it's getting a little bit more stronger. Nicotine wise, strength wise, taste wise, everything is like amping up. Usually the final third is supposed to be like more calmer element of the cigar. Cigars I tend to smoke start to die out a little bit. This is like a freight train with just flavor, just boom. And oh my God. This is good. It bothers my eyes a little bit because there's still this baking spice element to it. And that spice is still subtly there. My nostrils are, I don't think you can actually hear my nose. It's like I'm smelling in 12K, Ultra HD, OLED. It's overwhelming how this cigar just picked up in this last third. The taste notes of the previous second third is still there. It's just added a whole earth element. That's all it is. It's the same thing with this very light, sweet earth. Not like a mushroom, not nothing dirty, nothing danky. There was a little moment back when I was not recording where it was bitter for a great, I would say 10 minutes. It wasn't good. It kind of felt off. And I think that was the transition period. It was not enjoyable at all. Like at all. But then after the 15 minutes, it's good. So I'm definitely going to be deducting a point or two. Maybe. We'll see. My final closing thoughts. I'm going to continue smoking this for a little bit more longer. And then once it gets to basically where my hands is pinching at is when I'm going to serve my final verdict. Give me like 5 more minutes. This is definitely the last third because that earth is prominent at the moment with that sweet, with that bakery in the background. It's almost like you go into a bakery when you had a dry weather and it rains. So you have that earthy, sweet smell in the air when rain hits that dry earth. And you're just entering a bakery or a pastry shop or a cake shop, whatever. Everything's in crap, whatever. I'm just overwhelmed a little bit. It's great. Oh, I also forgot to mention, when I was removing the band effortlessly, the bottom band was a little bit of a tough nut to crack, but with just very gentle twisting, just holding onto the band and then just going like this very slowly, After, I would say maybe a good 15-20 seconds of just rubbing the band, it had that little application where they put on bands to get the band to stick. But after that little slight massage, released like nothing. It didn't really damage the cigar. I guess there was a little ripple there anyways. There was a little ripple hiding underneath the band. I don't think the band caused it. I think it was just always there existing. But the construction still held up. And also, just admire the smoke output for 3 seconds on this final third. Oh my god, it's delicious. You're getting this like this charred taste to it. It's almost like this grilled taste. I would say more along the lines of you're camping and you're underneath your tent. It's raining after a dry season, and all your fat ass brought was just Twinkies and cakes and other pastries as your food source for your camping trip for some reason. I mean, I would do it because, hello. But I'm just gonna call it there because this is, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this. I'm just gonna stay silent, whatever. I'm ready to cast my votes. So appearance wise, with the tube, with the band, very eloquent looking, very sophisticated, very, rich looking. It had that look that screamed quality. Like, that metal like gray and black in the band work itself, that gold laminated style on the top and the bottom of the band, and even on the gold on the name itself. Gorgeous work. The tubing, very eye-catching, especially with this red. Flawless. When it comes to appearance, I'm gonna give it a solid, I'm gonna give it a perfect score. It does this justice. 9.5. Appearance, 9.5. Construction, you had the tunnel in the beginning that you saw. There's still a slight tunnel right there, but that was the only negative from the construction itself. Smoke output, beautiful. The way it looks, gorgeous. It held up. Bands came off super easily, barely any stress on them. They didn't rip or tear the cigar apart when it comes to the wrapper itself. For construction, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. For taste note, first third, super spicy, super peppery, very sweet. Second third, you have that sherry coming in, all this very sweet baking pastry. Just, it felt like I was in a bakery. So that was an amazing dessert second part where that pepper and spice just really toned down. Last third, that spice is gone because of the white pepper aspect, but that baking spice element is still there with that very sweet earth coming in for that final third, and everything is blending and meshing so well. That last transition though was not good. I did not like that transition from the second to last third, because for a good 15 minutes it just tasted extremely bitter, almost ammonia like. It was kind of, I felt like putting the cigar down. I was kind of scared the last third was going to be that way the whole entire way, but it wasn't. Now it picked back up, intense smoke, everything came out very just boom at the end. But that little bit of sourness that was predominant for 15 minutes. So I'm gonna give this taste a 7. If there was a flawless way through, it could have seen a 9 or 8.5. But for the fact that it was very sour and bitter and just nasty for 15 minutes, I'm just gonna give the cigar a 7. Most of it was enjoyable, but 15 minutes is a long time. For you to go through 15 minutes of very uncomfortable, not really appeasing moments, I think a 7 seems right for the taste notes of the cigar. But I'm gonna continue enjoying this cigar. It's still an ash. This cigar is still an ash. Was it worth the 120 bucks? This might be controversial, but yes, because I have not had a cigar with this element as of yet. It tasted like a sweet tip cigar. The whole sweet tip experience was different. I didn't expect a cigar to have like this very sweet, almost like infused style, taste to it when it comes to the smoking element. But it didn't overwhelm the cigar. It didn't make it it didn't make it feel strange. So this was a great experience. I will pay another 120 bucks to get another one of these. I wouldn't mind. I mean, if you could find it for 80, sure. 120, that's not something that's easily just to throw out there in the world. But I would not mind throwing 120 to experience this again. But if it goes down to like 80, I wouldn't be mad. If they could patch that little 15-minute part, maybe could have been the cigar I have. That was the only experience. I don't know. Once I'm done making this video, I'm gonna read the reviewer on Halffield to see his experience, to see if it was like mine. But that was just a very strange and not very enjoyable element for that small portion of time. Thank you guys for 1,000 subs. Until next time, guys, as always, I love your faces, and I'm out. Peace.